So வந்து ஒரு ஆடியன்ஸ் ஏற்கனவே ஜாயின் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. ஸோ ஆடியன்ஸ்க்கு வந்து ஒரு ரிக்வெஸ்ட், நீங்க வந்து கைண்ட்லி மியூட் யுவர் செல்ஃப். ஐ திங்க் ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ ஆர் மியூட்டட். ஆனா வந்து கைண்ட்லி மியூட் யுவர் செல்ஃப் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ யூ கேன் டர்ன் ஆஃப் யுவர் வீடியோ. என்னன்னா இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு பி ஒன்லி என்ன the panelists and the student panelists and the counselor who will have their video on to present in it. I mean, that's what we plan to do. Any questions that you have, you can post it in the chat window, and the questions will be addressed during the question and answer session. Okay. And student panelists, student அதான் panel வந்து ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டுடுங்க in the chat window that you are here. ஏன்னா வந்து வீடியோ நீங்க டர்ன் ஆஃப் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்கன்னா it is hard to identify, so just to make sure you're here. We should. I think we are good to start, Langa. Yes. Jagadish?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay, I will take care of sharing the YouTube link, and over to Jagadish.
Okay, thank you, Sandhya. I think we said Jagadish. Like I think that's
Dana. Dana, please go ahead.
Okay. Vanakkam. I'll switch to English because like some of the participants are non-Tamil speaking. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first youth program from Columbus Tamil Sangam. Columbus Tamil Sangam is really growing, and recently we formed a youth committee with our community like youths. Like they are very enthusiastic, and we are like excited to conduct more program like this. So this is outcome of that one. Actually, like we have like a panel of 8 kids here from the youth committee. Those were identified by our special guest like Devi Selvakumar. So they will be sharing their experience with the middle school. And also like how it would benefit benefited them in the high school. Basically, they are high school kids, like they are sharing the experience. And the program is like mainly for targeted for middle school kids as well as the parents, because as you know, like initially like up to 5th grade, like it is very light-weighted. So beyond that one, like it's getting harder and harder, right? So it's overwhelming that there is a lot of options to choose from. That's where like we thought like it would be beneficial like if we share the experience from already like from those like who already went through this process. And we got a contact Devi Selvakumar. She's from Atlanta, actually like Alpharetta. This is a suburb of Atlanta, and she's conducted like several programs like this successfully for various Tamil Sangam, including Atlanta Tamil Sangam as well as Delaware Tamil Sangam. So with and she is helping here, and she worked with our kids like to customize it for Columbus. That way, like I mean, some of the options may not be available like in all the cities. That's why she worked like he spent a lot of hours like with our own kids, like Columbus kids, and came up with a customized program for Columbus audience. And she is also helping in a lot of like non-profit organizations. Some of them are like she's associate director of like a North South Foundation Georgia chapter, and also like coordinate service from Pure Hearts of Georgia. And also like she's working with like a lot of youth and helping them to gain volunteer hours too. So thank you. With that, like I will hand over to Devi. Go ahead, Devi Selvakumar.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். On behalf of Columbus Tamil Sangam, I would like to welcome you all for this wonderful event. And I would like to thank Columbus Tamil Sangam for this wonderful opportunity to participate in such an event and come and share a wonderful evening with you all. So for the benefit of all of the students and for the non-speaking audience, our entire program is going to be in English. But if you have any questions, you can always like ask us. Okay, awesome. Are you able to see my screen? Awesome. Okay. So the way the event is scheduled, the first part, I'm going to do the presentation where I'm going to address the middle school students as well as the middle school parents, how to prepare yourself in the middle school. Also, at the end of this, I'm going to talk about what to expect in high school and how to get ready for high school. So for the first 1 hour, I'm going to talk about this. And the second part, we are going to be joined by our wonderful panelists, nearly 8 students, successful 8 students from your community who's going to come and share their middle school experiences with you all, followed by, so they will be presenting for nearly 30 to 40 minutes. And then the last segment, we are going to accept the question from the audience. And so the question may be either directed to the panelists or to me. So we will try our best to answer your questions. Thank you so much. And without further delay, I would like to go ahead with the presentation. Okay. And give me 1 minute. Are you ready for high school? Okay, so here are the contents we are going to talk about today. So I'm going to talk to the middle school students about what to expect. So we are imagining maybe, the audience has, like 4th or 5th graders who are about to join middle school in another couple of years, or these are middle school parents and students who are already in middle school. So we are going to pretty much cover all of them. And I'm going to address the middle school students. What kind of exchanges can you expect in the middle school, and how to engage yourself in the middle school, and what kind of extracurricular activities that you can do, and what kind of soft skills that you can develop. And then coming to the parents, how can I support my kids? So we are going to talk, like us from a parent to a parent. I'm going to talk what kind of support can we give our wonderful kids, followed by how to get ready for the high school. In high school, what are all the things to expect? Like what do we mean by high school GPA, and how much weight the transcript carries, and middle school to high school credits, and Ohio high school graduation requirement. What do they mean by that? And how do you select courses in the high school? And what is a dual enrollment course versus the virtual enrollment classes? Also about the honors class as well as the AP courses. So these are some of the terminologies I would like to throw, and I would like you to get familiarized so that when the kids go to the high school, they will know exactly what we are talking about and what are all the different challenges that are lying ahead. Okay, middle school students. So 5th graders, you are about to, if you are going to start middle school in the next year, your world is changing, or it is completely it is going to change. For those who are in the middle school already, you know that you may be if you are a freshman, I mean, if you are a 6th grader, you are already going through that changes. Like I don't know how many of you are attending the middle school, but since the environment is completely different now, like some of you may be attending virtual school, so the environment is kind of little different and it is kind of cozy. As a parent, I would really love it, because the transition is happening in a very, very healthy way. or even if you are going to the school, it is going to be really fun, right? Middle school, wow, like lockers, like fashionable dresses, and teenage, oh wow, like it's a wonderful time of the year, okay? And so what are the various things that like to expect? Psychologically, you are going to go through a lot of challenges, and hormonal challenges, definitely it is going to be there. Physically, you are growing as an adult, okay? So you're going to see a lot of challenges, okay? A lot of changes within you. And also, like the transition from elementary to middle school. So in elementary school, like almost all of you have attended one class, and throughout the day, you will be sitting in one class. Just for arts and music class, you may be going to a different class. But everywhere when you go, you all went as a class together. But now the situation is different. One of you may be doing math, like maybe 6th grade math, if you're in 6th grade, okay? Some of you may be doing advanced math, in the sense you may be attending the class with the 7th graders, or some of you may be really attending the classes with the 8th graders. So it all depends on your own individual progress. Okay, so, and also depending on the classes that you select, you may be, like completely different from your clan, and you may be, like attending classes differently. So that is a big change that you are going to expect. And, like this, I won't say this is only happening in middle school. Nowadays, things are going so fast. Social media, even the elementary schoolers know social media better than me. Believe me, I am very much outdated on that. And so social media is going to, like occupy pretty much, like large portion of your life. And you are going to hear more about, like peer pressure and bullying, and also cyberbullying. So you may be, like getting some awareness programs. Some speakers may come and talk to you, and your parents may be talking to you about all these things. So don't just brush it aside. Just listen to what adults has to say, and then put it on the back of your mind. Okay, so whenever it is applicable, you can go ahead and apply it. Otherwise, just be aware of all these things, because you are going to be surrounded by, like anyway, whether you like it or not, you are going to experience it in one or other way, from 6th grade to 8th grade, or you may witness, even if we are not directly participating in it, you may witness, these kind of things. So it's better to be prepared rather to be, rather to stay out of this. And middle school years, this is a wonderful time to identify, like what are your strengths and what is your weakness. So try to explore different things, because there is no pressure. Like high school, there is no pressure. And you are also not a small kid like you used to be in the elementary school. So now you are kind of in the middle. So now you are slowly identifying, what am I good in? What kind of strength do I need to, develop within myself? So try to identify all those. And anytime, I know you kids are very smart, like compared to our generation to this generation, every generation, the kids are becoming very smarter and smarter. Okay, that is really a wonderful thing. But always remember that. Even though, we may not be technologically as advanced as you are, but please try to reach out for help for any of your question. Okay, so I may be outdated, I may, maybe old school, but still I may be, as an adult, your parents, your teachers, like any responsible adults will be able to help you, or even your siblings. Please reach out for help. Please keep it in the, like on the backside of your mind. Okay, and keep up with your schoolwork. It's very, very important. Okay, in the like elementary school, if you have missed your homework or something, maybe the teacher might have sent an email. Will send an email, or the teacher won't even mind if you don't do the homework. But here, grades matter. Try to remember that, and then just have it as part of your schedule. That will definitely help you. Okay, how to engage in middle school? Okay, so you can ask me, so academics, it's not high school. So what am I supposed to do? Hey, there are a lot of things that you can do in middle school. So if you are athletic, okay, so go and try different sports, soccer, volleyball, tennis, basketball, whatever you are interested in, go ahead and try. If you are interested in arts, just go ahead and give a try in your arts class. Okay, music class. Are you vocally skilled, or are you good in playing the instrument? So these are different things. Even if you haven't touched any music instrument in your life so far, go ahead and try that. Like in your middle school, I'll try to experiment with different instruments and see which one is good with you. Which one, do you like? Because later on in your life, you are going to be, believe me, your life is going to be filled with a lot of academics, one after another. So you definitely need, these kind of recreational things to keep your mind very calm and very relaxed. This kind of arts and music classes is definitely needed for you. And so what can I do? What do you mean by strong study habits? Okay, so lot of the high schoolers, and even if you are in the upper middle school, what do I mean by procrastination, right? So we always push things till the last minute, and then hey, it's only the test is tomorrow. I can study at the last minute, and I can just brush it up. Still, you may be able to do well in your test. Believe me, it happened with a lot of kids. Okay, but when you go to the high school, okay, that is where the problem comes. You cannot push things to the last minute, and you'll be bombarded with a lot of things, and you feel like you are totally lost. Why to do that? Instead, just develop a habit. Okay, so if the test is coming up, in the following Friday, why don't you try to schedule it, on the Monday itself? Try to schedule that, put a little schedule, and try to work on your time management skills. Oh, I have a soccer practice today. So that means, I am going to push my, all my studying and everything, get it done by today, so that I won't be bothered. So when I go to even if I go to the practice, I won't be hurt. I will do my exams and everything very well. Okay. So try to have that mindset, even if you don't have it, it is completely fine. And some of you, especially our kids, you can come and argue until even without doing that, I am getting very good scores. But believe me, just keep it again, put it on the back of your mind, try to develop some time management skills. This will be really handy. And this is a life skill that you are learning. Do well in your school and standardized test. It's very, very important. Okay. So you can ask me, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm not in high school, how the grades matter. If you develop an attitude right now, it doesn't matter. So you will carry the same thing to your high school, and you will carry the same thing to your college. And that is not healthy for you. Instead, try your best. Okay. And prepare and go ahead and give the exam. Even if you're not scoring very well, then you know what to do. But have that mindset that you need to do very well. Okay, and explore the various after-school clubs that are available in your school to develop your non-academic interest. Again, academics is not the only thing. Back in India, that is how we adults have grown up. For us, academics is the number one thing, and that is the only thing we know. We didn't know anything else, and that is the only thing that mattered. But for you kids, it's not so. It's not so. Your academics matter the same way your non-academic things also matter. Okay, get involved in your school and connect with your teachers. Don't think like, oh, your teacher's pet. I hear a lot of students, saying this, oh, your teacher's pet. You are, going around with the teacher all the time. Never mind those kids. Try to connect with them and try to see where you can help, and try to connect with your peers. And if there is any non-profit organization, like you have our Tamil Changam, if there is any other non-profit organization, go, just tail along with your parents and try to see whether you can, do any kind of volunteering. Look for a high school program that best fits your interest. This is very, very important. Okay, so not everybody is the same. You may be having a public school, high school that is in your area, but some of the school kids will excel in a STEM high school. Sorry, or they may be doing wonderful in a private setting, in a small school setting. So try to find out where you exactly fit. Okay, so try to explore and try to ask the people around and your community around to see what are the best schools available, and research about how to get in there. Some of the schools may have a interviewing process, or they may require you to write an essay. So try to find out, instead of pushing everything till the last minute, and instead of waiting for the deadline, just try to research about how to get in there. Also, this is a good time to talk to your parents. I don't know how many of you, just think to yourself, how many of you exactly know what your moms and dads do? Okay, do you exactly know? So you can come and say, I know my dad is working with IT. He is working with computer. That's not that's kind of the thing, like answer that my grandma will give. Okay, you should exactly know what your parents are doing. Like if it is in the IT field, then what kind of, job description he has, what kind of a job title your dad or mom has, and when they go to the office, what kind of work they do. This will really help you to explore the different careers, so that I when I talk to a lot of kids, when they come to the high school, when I ask them, like what kind of future are you thinking about, and they come up say, definitely I don't want to end up like my mom and dad. So going to an office, sitting there for like 9 to 5, I don't want the cubicle life. Okay, at least try to figure out what you don't like. Okay, but try to appreciate things, because not every job is easy. Okay, it's very hard. Try to find out what is the pros and cons. This is the best time, because you have a lot of time in your hand. Now, so here I've given the possible, like the most common extracurricular activities. Okay, if you ask the boys, Boy Scout is like kind of very popular, and for Girl Scouts of America. So try to find out, even if you haven't gone to Scouts so far, maybe you can ask, like I'm an 8th grader, can I join? Yes, definitely you can join. So this is always associated with the church. Try to find out, try to explore Boy Scouts near my area or Girl Scouts near my area. So they will give a list of, like troops available in your area. So this will develop your outdoor skills, your life skills. This is really, really important. This is really good, like for non-academic activities. And band, orchestra, whatever you are interested in. Or if you're vocal, try chorus and see whether you like it. Okay. Or if you're athletic, go ahead and try, later on, like our panelists are going to come and say, what kind of sports they enjoyed in their middle school. Or you can say, Auntie, I'm not an outdoor person. Okay, go ahead and try chess if you like. Also, okay, at this age, this naturally fits you guys. Okay, so why I'm saying so? Because you all are good in talking. And as a teenager, you are naturally good in debating. Okay, go ahead. And why don't you make it productive and just, you go and debate, like win a trophy, or, like just learn some more concepts. Hey, we love it. None of the parents will say no for that. Okay, go ahead and try that. And Science Olympiad and Math Olympiad. So these are all team events where, this should be available in your particular school. And, this is a team event. You may be paired with one or more students, and you may be working on, like these, concepts, science and math concepts. And you may go and compete as a team. And this team skills is also very, very important. And as a middle schooler, try to develop that habit. Also in middle school, if you are academically doing very well, and if you are a highly achieving student, then you will be recommended for National Junior Honor Society. Or like if you are really interested in serving in the student council, go ahead and take the leadership positions. Okay, you may not be doing like many things. It's completely okay. Go ahead and be a class representative and sit in a meeting and see. Hey, then only you will understand your moms and dads. They are sitting in meetings all day. You will understand, okay, what it takes to sit in a meeting and how ready you should be. There are so many aspects that you will explore. And future business leaders of America. So this all depends on what your school provides. Okay, sometimes your school may not be having this. In that case, that is fine. Model UN. This is one other popular thing that kids explore. And science fair, if you are of the type of research and exploring, science fair is a pretty good thing for you. Okay, so you research about a particular topic and you present your data on graph, like any other scientist will do. You go ahead and present it before a panel of judges, and this will take you to compete in even the international level. Okay, and geography B, spelling B, you name it, the options are limitless. And volunteering, whatever way you can, even if you are 13, if you are 12. Some of the places they say, we don't take, if you are under 14, we don't take you. Then go ahead with your mom or dad and try to help out wherever you can, and try to contribute to the community. Okay, and soft skills. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, so as an adult, so nowadays people are struggling so much. Okay, even in the job interviews, we are repeatedly asked, what kind of communication skills do you have? Do you know how to solve the problem? So these kind of skills, your teachers are not going to teach you, your school is not going to teach you. This is something you need to develop on your own. Okay, for example, today you are given the homework and you don't know how to do. So can I just close the homework page and can I say, hey, my teacher didn't teach me this, I'm not going to work on this? No, your attitude should be maybe I will, because when you go to the internet, the options are just limitless. You can go ahead and find how can you solve that problem and how can you think out of the box. So all these kind of things, please sit and try. Okay, if it is not possible for you after 10 attempts, after 15 attempts, then go ahead and reach for some help. Okay, and also try to work as a team. This is very, very important. Okay, even as adults, a lot of the people couldn't succeed in their profession because when it comes to the team environment, they cannot work very well. As an individual, they may be very good. Okay, they are highly accomplished individual, but when it comes to the teamwork, they may not be succeeding very well. Okay, but that is one important factor even the college is looking to, as well as the workplaces. So try to develop all those skills, and this comes along with the decision making, interpersonal and intrapersonal, how to resolve the conflicts. You don't have to look at the big level. So suppose two friends are there and you are having conflicts among each other, how will you resolve it? Okay, as a small kid, try to develop how can I do it smoothly, so try to understand and develop all those habits and skills. Carry a positive attitude all the time. Don't say no for everything. Try to develop a positive attitude and listen. Even if you have to say no, first of all, listen to what others have to say, and then put forth your point. That is completely fine. And this is one other big thing. Okay, now you have the lockers. How can I stay organized? Okay, parents, you get the help of your parents and try to get an academic planner. Try to get an agenda. Try to write down all your homework and upcoming tests, everything. And try to keep up with the calendar. So now you guys are tech savvy. So even in the Google Calendar, in the laptop you have it, in your iPhone you have it. Anywhere you can try to keep up with that. And try to keep, and this is something again old school, but believe me, this will definitely work. Okay, try to have a dry erase board and try to have some put some notes or some important reminders. Okay, this will definitely help you to stay organized. And locker organizer, again, don't dump everything in the lockers. Go ahead and buy some organizers. Okay, get the help of your parents. These are available in the Office Depot and Home Depot, everywhere. Try to get their help and then stay yourself organized. Try to, some of this depends on every class. Sometimes you may have to get the binder for each subject, or you can have 3 or more subjects in a single binder. And you have to have the dividers. These are little things. Okay, even you can color code it. Okay, this will help you. Believe me, this will definitely help you. Small things definitely help you. And keep a weekly schedule. And what is a daily schedule looks like? In the morning, when you sit before the computer, try to look at your daily schedule and try to have a kind of homework system. So what do I mean by that? When I work on the homework, okay, that time is only meant for your homework, not for anything else. If your friends are calling, that is not the time for chatting. Okay, that is not the time for social media. And keep the phone away from you. Okay, please try to develop that habit, so that I'm not saying stay away from the social media completely. Have that time, but when it comes to the homework, there is no social media there. There is no email there. There is no watching football there. Try to have a separate time for that. So everything, try to allot a separate time for everything. And note taking skills. This is again, your teachers will be enforcing this to you. You can follow either of these methods, Cornell or outlining, mapping, or box and bullet. Whatever your teacher advises you, go ahead for that, even if they are not recommending. So try to find out, so what is a Cornell? Try to explore that and try to do the note taking accordingly. this would be really, really handy, believe me. And so like I said, schedule a time for everything. I'm not saying no for social media or playing outdoors and schoolwork, but have a different time. Give 6 to 8 is your study time. That should be dedicated completely for that, and nothing should interfere that. And also, when you are playing, okay, you are not going to do your homework, right? Okay, so that way, please try to stay organized. Okay, now the kids can take a break. Now I'm coming to the parents. Okay, how can I support? Okay, so parents, I'm talking to you, like as a parent to a parent. I have 2 kids. My oldest son is 25 years old, and he's working, and my younger son is a senior in high school. So you can understand, like I have 2 boys at home, and I have gone through, like all these changes and all these challenges. And rather than, I have asked this question so many times, why my son is behaving differently? Why, this is happening? Nowadays, kids are different. Please push all those questions aside and try to, like have the mindset, how can I support? Okay, yes, we all know, we all, like have gone through that phase, right? It's not that, like our kids are new. Our mom and dads have gone through that, and we have gone through that. But again, growing up in, like this atmosphere, in this environment, they are going through a lot of challenges. Okay, believe me, they are definitely going through a lot of challenges. So emotionally, physically, and mentally, they are going through a lot of challenges. And they are very much concerned about their body image and appearance. This is what I tell my younger son, like what I have seen, like when he was in middle school, whatever he used to do, I saw my brother doing that when he was in college. Okay, so just to see how much of a generation gap it is. So they quickly catch up, and these kids are very smart. And like in spite of them being smart and very intelligent, they go through rocky emotions. Like they are very rebellious sometimes, because they are going through a lot. Like in the school, they are going through some peer pressure, and they are like very low motivated. And again, I know you may not be liking me saying this to you. Drugs and alcohol, this is growing as a big like inspiring factor, or very attractive things. Like previously it was happening in high school. Now I'm hearing, this is heartbreaking to say that it's even happening in the elementary school. So be aware of these things that's happening around. Okay, it is better to be educated, it's better to be prepared rather than regretting at the last minute. Okay, and just enjoy them. They are very funny, they are curious, and they are very imaginative. Okay, these are our little kids. They come and tell you something, and then on one end they are very, like very much worried about their body image and everything. On the other end, they come and talk to you like a little child. Just enjoy them. Okay, and so this is what the research confirms. They just run into some bumps, but definitely no boulders. Okay, so we need to keep ourselves a little bit cool. Okay, help your child develop some study habits. Try to allot us. So I talk to them about what kind of study habits they should have. Please, on your end, how can you allot a space for them? Okay, so if you are of the type, like who want your child to work in the dining table, then allow during that time, please don't switch on the TV. At that time, please don't talk to your friends. Like so along with them, you also develop into like some kind of habit, like so that you do your work. I'm not like stopping you from doing that, but that time should be a quiet time. Like there you are conveying the message, hey, I know this is a study time and I am here with you. Like convey this message to your kid and help your child to prioritize and appreciate whatever they do. Please try to do that. And this is I tell the parents, like be there for them always, ups and downs. Even if they are going through a tough time, you should be the first person they should like reach to, and they should come and say, Mom, you're not going to like this, but this is what is going on. It is completely okay. Have an open mind. Okay, at that time, play a friend role or play a grandma's role or auntie's role, whatever it is. Be there for them, but at the same time, This is from a parent to a parent. I'm telling you, set clear boundaries. Okay. So when you say no, it is a clear no. Okay. So I know these kids are confused among, the culture over here and our Desi culture. So you need to set clear boundaries and you need to say, hey, this is what whatever family believes. Okay. This is also time for yourself to come up and say, hey, this is what we are. This is what our family believes in. This is a kind of family values that we have been following that I want you to follow. Please take a moment to, set on these clear boundaries. Keep an eye on your child's grade. You don't have to be the nagging parent, asking every minute, checking every minute on the internet, how they are doing. You don't have to, but keep an eye on that. If they need some help, please, extend your hands and talk to your child about his or her interest. You may be asking, oh, this is very early, but they will definitely, these kids are again very smart. They will come and say, Mom, this is something I am definitely not interested in. Keep an eye, give some ears to that and start saving. This is from the parent side. This is something we need to do. Even if you haven't done that so far, please try to go for savings bond, Roth IRA or 529 mutual funds, whatever works for you. If you are going to be of the type who's going to fund your student, please start saving. And studentaid.gov and the resources, there are a lot of resources available. So you can go ahead and, explore that. So some of the things, as a community, we need to support each other. So how will so rather than, again, I come back to the question, rather than asking why this is happening, why my son is behaving differently, I'm telling you, I have 2 kids and 2 are boys, both are, totally different. So, so I need to ask, I cannot ask why, I need to ask, how can I support my older one and how can I support my younger one? And how can I communicate better? So every time we talk, they are very good in debating. So they will say, why not? Because my friend's mom is not asking. So you are asking me to study all the time. So you need to, find a better way to communicate with them. And how much independence should I give my child? This, even though we all belong to, we are all coming from India and we are all Desi community, every family values are different. And yours, a way of independence is completely different from the independence that I define in my house. But be firm and define that. Okay, how can I help my child to be confident and just get to know their friends? Be friendly with them, and how to protect them from harmful peer pressure. I need to be there for them. How to keep the media from being a bad influence. So I need to find out some way that works with my kid. Okay, I cannot if I tell you what I have done in my home, that may not be working for you in your home. So you need to find out what works for you and what is school like for adolescents. So you need to understand, they go to the school and they go through, all these emotional challenges, and they come back. As soon as they come back home, you don't want to be the one, hey, what happened? Did he do that? Did he turn in that work? Give them some time. They are growing. They will come to you automatically, give them their space. And what is the best way? Try to find out how to stay involved. You may be very busy at work, but still there are something you can do virtually. There are something you can do on site. Try to sign up for that. And how can I help my child? Again, in the middle school, this is a big complaint that I received from the parents, that they start losing their reading habits. How to enforce that skill? Then how can I keep them motivated? How do I help my child to develop good values and learn right from wrong? This is something I need to teach my kid by setting as a role model. Okay, how can I tell and what can I do if my child is having a very serious problem? Okay, can I reach out? Whatever I mentioned for the kids, it applies for us also. If it is something that I cannot handle it, then can I reach out for help? Then who's the right person? So I need to calmly, when I talk about as a parent, we all need to work on this, and as a community, we are there for each other. Okay, so middle school life is over, and what to expect in high school? Some of the things. So when you go to the high school, so this is all they talk about. Oh, college, you should get into good college. And my friend's daughter got into this. My friend's son got into this. Parents and for students also, this is my humble advice to all of you. Each and every one of the student is unique. Okay, like we parents are, like we all come under the umbrella of a parent. But my way of parenting is totally different from even my husband's way of parenting. Okay, so we all are totally different. Try to identify that we all are unique, first of all. Okay, and try to know about the different things. I hear about this from the parents all the time. Hey, I don't want to be the pressure cooking mom or dad who wants to constantly push on my kid. I don't want you to be one among them. I want you to know exactly what is going on in the high school, so that when your kid comes and approaches you for help, you are like, hey, I know I am there. Okay, and I know what it means to be an honors class. What is an AP class? Just to try to know about the terminologies. Okay, in the college admission process. Okay, so what are the things that matter? So whatever it matters at the end of the 4 years, that matters throughout the high school also. Okay, GPA, the first thing is the GPA. And what kind of class rank? Some of the schools may not be providing this, but if the school is providing that, definitely it matters. You may be a valedictorian, or there may be a salutatorian, definitely it matters. Or what kind of percentile? Am I on the top 1% of the class or in the top 10% of the class? You should be able to know if the school is providing that. Again, it varies from school to school. What is the course rigor? Okay, so that means, every high school may be offering different courses. So when you apply to the college, a student from Georgia will be applying, a student from Ohio will be applying, a student from New York will be applying. So how will the college find out, what kind of, how the transcripts are different, So whatever kinds of courses that are offered in your school versus what the students have taken, that definitely matters. So what do I mean by that? For example, if the school is offering honors classes, so there are four or five different type of courses. One is the on level. For example, I'll tell you, maybe I'll take like biology, for example. There may be a on level biology, okay, just a biology class, or there may be honors biology, okay, and that they may have AP biology, okay, and IB courses are different. It's international baccalaureate program, and this DE courses are dual enrollment. Okay, so I will explain you, and so you need to be aware of all these. So if everything is, if a transcript is having all the on level classes, whereas the school is providing all the AP classes and the honors classes, the college counselor will say, why the student has scored all the A grade in the on-level classes, why he or she didn't take any AP classes, why he or she didn't take the IB courses when it is offered in the school. Okay, so it is just courses offered versus courses taken. And you all know SAT and ACT, this again depends on what the students are good at. Some of the students may be doing very good in SAT and some of them are good in ACT. So depending on their strength, try to find out, let them take both of the exams and see what is their strength. Okay, and let them take. So it doesn't matter. Nowadays, a lot of schools are going, test optional. So you don't have to be worried about that. But still, it is still counted as one of the academic achievement. So keep that in your mind. And some of the schools, when you apply, they will ask you to come for an interview. Okay, the important thing is recommendation letters. So your teachers or counselors have to write recommendation letters for you. So why I am saying this now? Because, like I said before, you need to have a good rapport, with your teachers. Don't afraid of the fact that, oh, your friends are calling you teacher's pet or whatever it is. If you like a particular class and the teachers, if they are moving, good with you, they may write a good recommendation for you, even in your 12th grade. You might have taken that class in your 11th grade, but they can write a very good recommendation for you in your 12th grade. So try to, keep that relationship very well. Also the counselors. I will tell you this, in a school where there are 2,000 students, The counselor may not be aware of each and every student. Okay, so try to stop by their office and try to say hi, like I am so and so, hey, I am Akila, and like you are my counselor, just wanted to say hi to you. Just put a name to the face so that they will remember you. When you ask them to write a recommendation, they will remember you. And essays, these are big part of the college admission process that you have to write. Also, like the colleges will look to see whether you have done any research project, okay, whether you have any internship experience, whether you have any work experience. This is not mandatory that all the colleges look into this, but these are some of the factors the colleges will see, okay. And what kind of awards have you, have you received? What kind of accomplishments, have you gotten? And what kind of leadership positions have you taken? So that's why I try to develop the habit from the middle school itself. That's very, very important. And what kind of extracurricular activities have you done? After school clubs, everything, like what kind of activities have you done? And service projects, like for Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, like they may be doing Eid project. You can take a volunteer project on your own for a nonprofit organization, and you can, very well do that. So these are some of the possibilities I'm just telling you. You don't have to overwhelm yourself, but just some of the possibilities. And now we are going to explore the key concepts, okay? High school GPA. Why high school GPA matters? Because this is #1 factor in college admission. Maybe I can come and tell, the colleges have only holistic application process, admission process. What do I mean by holistic admission process? That means the colleges don't only look, not only look into your academics, they also equally look into your extracurricular activities, the research work that I have mentioned. So all these things, but still GPA is a #1. And how the GPA is calculated, this is from 9th to 12th grade. This is a cumulative CGPA, okay? And some of the schools, they provide weightage for some of the courses. For example, if it is, for example, I will tell you, in our school system, in Fulton County, they award 7 points, 7 extra points on the top of whatever scores you have already. Okay, for example, if a student is scoring 90 in that particular class, okay, if you are taking an honors or a AP class, 7 points are added to that. That means the student will end in 97 points for that particular class. That shows he has taken advanced class, and the county has rewarded with some extra bonus points. That is called the weighted. Okay, so the some of the schools provide weighted GPA as well as unweighted GPA. Okay, now some of the schools may not. And the GPA scales, they have 2 different scales. One is on a 4.0 scale, and you all are pretty much aware of that. Like if it is 90 and above, it's a grade, and 80 to 90, it's a B grade, like that. And versus the numeric average is the exact grade itself, like 90, 92, that marks itself. Out of 100, whatever you score, that is given. That is a GPA scale. And always the colleges want to see upward grade trend. Okay, maybe in the 9th grade, you might be scoring B's and C's. Those are okay. But when you progress, like when you move on to your 10th grade and 11th grade, like is your transcript looking good? Are you taking advanced classes? Are you taking honors and AP level classes? And, so always the colleges want to see the upward grade trend. So this is one another, I mentioned, even in the middle school, you need to find out what is your passion. Again and again, you will be hearing about this. What is your passion? So I may be, so for that, there are a lot of things which will help you. Maybe a subject, you may like math so much. So that means, you may want to do more of math and science and physics, or sometimes you may come and say, no, I am very good in arts. So you want to explore some career related to arts. So it all depends on what you are passionate about. Don't try to pick some major or career that your parents are interested in. Definitely nowadays, this is for the parents also. If we force them, finally what is happening is in the college, they are going and they are completely changing their majors. And this is making them to, instead of finishing their college in 4 years, they are taking 6 years, or sometimes they are taking more than that. And this is not a healthy thing for them. So let them choose and, be there for them. to make them figure out so what they are good in, what are they interested in. So the transcript. So what can you see out of the transcript? The transcript is going to list all the courses the student has taken from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. And I will go to the, and this will include, all the high school courses and the course rigor. Like I told you, if it's an honors class, they have a code called H or AP. They directly mention AP in there. Okay. Or if it's an IB class, they clearly mention it's an IB course. So at the end of this AP and IB classes, they may have to take some exam. And the scores from that exam out of 5, that also matters. And for IB, out of, whatever is the criteria, so whatever the score that they are getting, that also matters. And so whether the student has taken a challenging workload. And some of the schools, they have the STEM pathway. They come and say, we provide the biomedical pathway and we provide the engineering pathway. That means they do a lot of math and physics, whereas the health pathway, they will be doing a lot of biology and chemistry. So it all depends. So when they take the courses, for example, I have just listed down, if you apply to Georgia Tech for any engineering major, they would like to see whether you have completed AP Calculus BC in your high school. Okay, so I need to be a little bit, aware of, or I need to be a little bit calculative. For example, if you are applying to Georgia Tech and you haven't done your AP Calculus, instead you have taken your statistics, that is definitely a disadvantage because they are definitely looking, they definitely want to see your AP Calculus BC in your transcript. And college science major, if you want to pursue science major, definitely you should take a lot of science classes like chemistry, physics, biology, honors and AP classes. And middle school, now later on, when our panelists are going to join us, they're going to talk about, some of them have taken high school credits in the middle school itself. This is always possible. And you know that our kids are very good in, math and science and English. So they are very advanced. And when they are in 6th grade, they may be finishing their 8th grade English. So that means when they are in 7th grade, they have to take the high level classes. So that means they will take high school courses in their middle school itself. So how it is going to help them? The pros, what is the benefit of taking this? So when they finish their high school classes in the middle school, that means I have a lot of room in my high school. Okay, either I can finish up my high school faster in 3 years, or I can take more college level courses in my high school itself. That is a big advantage. Okay. So what is another one? In the transcript, when they list all these high school classes that were taken in the middle school, most of the schools, they don't, consider all these grades in the GPA calculation. Okay. But it all depends on the school. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to definitely worry about that. But always, this is one step above taking the high school classes in the middle school. That's always like that. So some of the classes like Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, these are some of the classes. And like I told you, this count towards your graduation credits, but not towards your GPA. Okay, so this is Ohio High School graduation requirement. So this is so regardless of what courses that the student is going to take, this is the graduation requirement that they need to finish while they are in the high school. Okay, like I told you, they can take some of these courses in their middle school itself. That definitely count towards the graduation. So 4 years of math and 4, and English, 4 years of English, and science, 3 years of science, and social studies, 3 credits, health and fitness education, 1 semester each. And so totally, this is definitely, so totally Ohio requires only 20 credit hours. Okay. Along with that, the students should receive instruction in economics and financial literacy. So they are kind of, every state has a different policy. Whereas in Georgia, it is 23 credit hours and that's it. Okay. But whereas you guys, you have this one, a course of economics and financial literacy and 2 semesters of fine arts. Okay. This is really very, very important. when the kids apply to the university system of California, they definitely require 1 year of, like fine arts. Like they would like to see 1 year of fine arts in your transcript. Okay. And apart from that, like you need to, from your Ohio state test, industry credentials, and workforce readiness, and college and career readiness. This is some of the graduation pathways. Your counselor will help you to choose the pathway depending on your interest. So again, like I have just explained in here, what I was surprised was, like every university having different requirements, and Stanford, they definitely would like to see 3 or more years of world language. So that's the same case, like in Georgia, they would like to see at least, they have to finish 3 years of world language, Spanish, or like Chinese, Latin, anything. And California state system, yeah, like I mentioned, it's 1 year of visual arts. Dual enrollment versus virtual school. Dual enrollment courses, like this is a college level word course. So like I mentioned, so when the students are done with the high school courses, if they still have, like empty slots, they can go for community level college work, or they can do, like online course from any, like university, like Stanford University is offering some virtual classes, and MIT is offering some classes, so they can do dual enroll that. And so kind of it's a trend going on. A lot of students would like to do the dual enrollment classes to improve their GPA. But not all the colleges accept the e-credits, okay? And also the same thing, like summer virtual courses, it is only a very short time, like so maybe.
Sorry to interrupt, Mrs. Devi. This is Sandhya. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Finally, we request all the participants to please mute when our counselor is speaking, because there is additional noise coming in there. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem. Thank you. So I know I'm making you sit for a long time. I'm going to be, soon I'm going to a couple of more slides and I'll be done. And we are going to move on to the interesting part of the program. That is, we are going to meet with the panelists. Okay. And this is, especially when you do for summer virtual classes, my big advice is don't go for any science or math classes, because science class, there is a lab involved with that. So you won't be able to do, like in the virtual class, you won't be able to do any lab course. Okay. So here, like I have given the AP versus the IB classes. Again, it depends on what your school is providing. So don't push yourself more than, like what is offered. If you have lot of, like time available, definitely you can go ahead and explore whether virtual school is providing that those courses for you, or IB courses, whether you can take IB courses. And so the requirements are, like AP courses very popular. And if you take this college level course, depending on the AP score that you get from the exam, you will be exempted from that course in college. That is a very good news, like, so if you put little hard work now, it will definitely get you ready for the college. Okay. So colleges also compare what is your class score versus your AP exam score. For example, if you scored maybe 75 in AP biology versus, like AP score of AP biology exam score of 5, the colleges would see why there is, like a 75. So there should be a proper match between what you scored in the class as well as the exam scores. Okay. I know I threw a lot of jargons and a lot of technical terms to those parents, who are, like whose kids are still in elementary school, 5th graders, like trying to move on to the 6th grade. Please, like don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. What I did today was I just tried to expose you to all the different things of what to expect in high school and how to make the most out of the middle school. Okay. Again, it is not about the student's profile that is going to count. Like my friend's kid may be having a very good profile than my son's. Okay. Don't be upset about that, because within your heart, your son or daughter is very, very precious than anybody else in this world. Okay. And what college they go to, like what kind of college application that they are going to do. No, don't ever worry about any of those things. identify your students, like individuality and encourage them. Okay, it is a journey. When you look back, okay, when I sit back, I'm just like recollecting all those good moments that I enjoyed with the kids. That is the only thing that is going to matter and nothing else. Okay, just that if there is one takeaway, please take this away from this workshop. Okay. Okay, now we are here to our interesting session. We are going to move on, and we are going to be joined by a wonderful team of panelists, nearly 8 of them, who are successful middle school candidates, and who are excelling in their high school right now. And they are going to come and share what they have done in their middle school, which is helping them in their high school, and how they have done that. Apart from like excelling in being a number one student in middle school, how they managed to do that. And this is like your own kids from your own community. Let me go ahead and introduce them. 1 minute. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call our panelists one by one, and they are going to self-introduce, and they are going to talk to you about their various experiences in their middle school. First of all, can I call Swati Shankar?
Hi everyone, I'm Swati. Auntie, should I start presenting now?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Can you see this your PowerPoint slide?
No, Auntie.
You are not seeing that? Okay, hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Can you see that now?
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Swati Shankar, and currently I'm a junior at Metro High School, but for middle school, I went to ONTNG Shanahan Middle School. So as we're going down, so my main leadership position, and I'll be mentioning this point a lot, Tamil. So all throughout my middle school, I go to Sunday school every Sunday, and a big part of my middle school was learning Tamil because I find it as a priority for me. I enjoy learning it. And for my leadership position, around 7th to 8th grade, I was still learning Tamil, but also for the little kids, I would, before Sunday school started, around those 20 minutes in the morning, I would create flashcards or create some type of interactive game or some sort to teach them to speak in Tamil. And one thing is that like in our Tamil school, we try to perfect their Tamil accent. So my goal was to make sure they pronounce the words properly. And so that was like my main leadership in 7th to 8th grade, and it was a highlight. And my accomplishment, I got Student of the Year in 2016 in my middle school. I actually went to Berkshire Middle School in 6th grade. And it was a big accomplishment for me because that was my first year. I just moved districts. I didn't really know anyone. And to the fact that I accomplished that was amazing. I couldn't have done it without my peers. And for my second accomplishment, FIA. FIA is like the Indian festival that comes around every August every year. And I performed there for dance. I do Bharatanatyam. I've been doing it since 2nd grade, and I carried it out throughout middle school. And a big accomplishment for me was getting 2nd place because considering it's Bharatanatyam and like all the competitions, like when they're doing dance competitions, it's including like Bollywood dancing and all those sorts. So the fact that Bharatanatyam dance got 2nd place was a big accomplishment for me. And again, as an award for Student of the Year, I got it one at Gurukul, or like my Sunday school. Since like the whole like the Tamil TA or Tamil teacher assistant, I got Student of the Year because it was a new concept and it ran perfectly. And also because I also emceed for all 3 of my years. For Pongal, we bring the cow and we do puja. It was really cool. So I got Student of the Year also for emceeing. And for my extracurriculars, I did dance, as I said, Bharatanatyam, and I also did Carnatic music along with swimming. I did competitive swimming for 1 year, but I did carry out swimming throughout my middle school. And for certification and volunteering, again, Gurukul volunteering, I did Tamil volunteering, but I also did Hindu Dharma volunteering, in which we would teach kids about Brahma or Trimurtis, or Tamil culture and Hindu culture in general. And also we'd have youth volunteering, which we would go to Ronald McDonald House, or we would go volunteer at a food bank or do temple cleanup. And along with Irish Festival and Asian Festival, they tied along with Chase volunteering. So this was more of a family bonding time for me and my family, because we'd all go a few times a year. We would volunteer together at the Irish Festival or the Asian Festival. And for the Asian Festival, we'd be handing out balloons or other sorts. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Swati.
Thank you.
Durga?
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Durga Karthik. I'm a freshman at Olentangy Orange High School, but I went to Olentangy Orange Middle School. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is Student Council, which I was a member of in high school. Student Council is open to anyone in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and it's basically a group where students learn and develop leadership skills, as well as plan and execute many of the events that you see at your middle school today. So it's a really easy application process. You just have to talk to your middle school's student council advisor, and it's a really smooth process. And I really enjoyed it because I got to meet new people through all of the programs and workshops that they offered in student council. And I also really just enjoyed planning events and helping out. And I got experience at planning events, budgeting, and all of that important stuff that you need for the real world. So it's a really good experience. I was also the co-president of Orange Cares, which is a service club at Orange Middle School. And it's really important because it teaches you about service and it offers many programs to do service and give back to your community, which is really important. I was also in Diversity Club, which is another really fun club. We got to plan multicultural events, and it's a really nice opportunity to make students of all different backgrounds feel welcome, and also to share your own culture. And it was really cool for me to share my own Tamil and Hindu culture, and I really enjoyed that. I was also one of the ambassadors selected for OASL State Conference, which is one of the programs offered in Student Council. And again, Student Council has many workshops and programs that are really fun, as well as teach you about leadership skills. So that was really nice. And I also do Taekwondo and Bharatanatyam, and I think it's really important to have experience and exposure to many activities, because as you get older and you get to the level where you have to apply for colleges and stuff, it's really going to set you apart if you do lots of activities. So that's one thing that I think is important. And I really enjoy these activities. I'm also in Chamber Orchestra, which is a smaller group that is meant for orchestra students. And it's really great because since it's a smaller group of students, it's almost like a family, and you become really close as you go to many contests and perform at many places together. And Chamber Orchestra also makes you play more advanced music than what your grade level would make you do. So if you're in middle school and you join Chamber Orchestra, essentially it's going to prepare you for more advanced music that you're going to play in high school. And high school orchestra is going really smoothly for me since I was in Chamber Orchestra. And I also went to many nursing homes and hospitals and elementary schools too, and performed along with my chamber orchestra there. So chamber orchestra is also a really good opportunity to do more service. I'm certified red belt in Taekwondo, which is again important because that's going to set you apart. And finally, I was a library assistant over the summer, and it was really fun, and I got to meet all new different kinds of people. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Durga. Advik?
Hi everyone, I'm Advik and I'm a sophomore at Olentangy High School. Before high school, I went to Shanahan Middle School, and yeah, that's where I am. I'm at Olentangy right now. So some extracurriculars I do is track, basketball, and Olentangy Service Club. Track has been very fun. I joined last year and the year before that, and last year got cut due to COVID, but it was still pretty fun. I'm a co-captain of the track team. Didn't get to do much because of COVID, but it was a very fun experience. I played basketball for OIAA for a couple years, and then I stopped. And then I was also part of Olentangy Service Club, and basically what we do is we go and we help communities and we do service basically, volunteer hours, stuff like that. Pretty fun. And I currently actually volunteer at the library, and it's been pretty fun. I recently joined in October, and we have meetings and we have like programs and stuff that you can do, and it's very fun. And some, I guess, accomplishments and awards. I was in robotics for 2 years, seventh grade and eighth grade. In seventh grade, I was part of my first team, and we actually got the Core Values Award, and it was pretty fun. We didn't get to the second round. We got stuck behind in the first round, but we got the Core Values Award for being like the best, like I guess you can say the best chemistry on our team. We had very good like core values, like we just had generosity and stuff like that. And then second year in eighth grade, I joined my second team with some of my close friends, and we actually ended up going to regionals, and we got number one in the first round. And it was very fun. We didn't get past regionals, but we still had a very good time in both the rounds, and we had lots of fun just doing robotics and stuff. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Advait. Welcome to the panel. Sahana Kalyan.
Hi everybody, my name's Shahana. I went to Liberty Middle School and now I'm a freshman at Liberty High School. Honestly, a lot of people seem to think that middle school isn't as important, and I was one of those people, if I'm being honest. But middle school is important, and I mean, even if it doesn't count for college like high school would, it's still where you find out what you're interested in so it can set you up for the things you take in high school. And it's also a great opportunity to kind of get ahead if that's what you like to do. And we were talking about getting high school credits in middle school. I will be elaborating on that later, but I just want to start up by saying that that can be helpful because then you'll finish your credits early and then you can take classes that interest you. So if you're like bored by regular classes, then you can actually take some things that'll make you want to go to school. To start off with my leadership positions, I was the president of Diversity Club. I joined Diversity Club in 6th grade and I became president in 7th because obviously our culture is very important to me, and Diversity Club meant that I could share that with other people. And not only that, I could learn about other people's cultures, and it just kind of gave me more of an outlook on the world, which was very helpful to me. I served on student council for 2 years. My 3rd year I had schedule complications, but that was honestly really fun because I got to meet other students who were very involved in our school. I got to choose fun things like what we do for Spirit Week and stuff. So, like Pajama Day or Crazy Hair Day. We got to decide if we need to change something in the school or what we can do to improve the school for students and staff alike. My accomplishments was I am 1 year ahead in English. The story is basically that in 6th grade, we noticed that all of my English scores are always very high. I never felt very challenged in the class, and it was always kind of boring to me because there was nothing new. So my parents and I reached out to the gifted specialist at Liberty Middle School, and she let me take a test after looking at my test scores. And then once I passed, I was allowed to do 7th grade English, and which has been very helpful because not only do I feel more challenged as a student, but I also get to learn new things in case they change the curriculum when I would have gotten there. I don't know if that makes sense, but I also in 6th grade took a New Mats high school course. New Mats is I can say like a branch off of Northwestern University, and it offers like a variety of high school courses in whatever you're interested in. So if you wanted to take a high school course in English or math or science, you could take it. And it does offer high school credits. They have a website, and I mean, other schools do this too, like Stanford. What I did was I took a creative writing course, and upon completion, I got 2 elective credits, which means that I can do something else with my time in high school instead of working to get those credits. And honestly, I just really liked that course too, because I got to indulge more in things that I was interested in. So I would definitely recommend it if you have time on your hands. And also in 6th grade, I wasn't involved in any sports because I wasn't allowed to, and I didn't do any sports outside of school either. So it was another thing to kind of pass my time. Extracurriculars. In 7th, I started doing track, mostly because I am a very lazy person. Any of my friends can tell you this. And my parents were like, you need to be active. So I was like, okay, fine. So I joined track because, to be honest, I thought it would require the least effort. I was wrong. It required a lot of effort, but I would still say that it was worth it because I got to meet new people, and also I finally got active. It forced me to exercise, and I could follow those exercises even after track season ended. So I was really sad when track got canceled last season because of Corona. Because of my connection in Diversity Club, I got to organize and participate in cultural fairs, which not only I know, like the cultural part where I get to learn and teach other people about cultures, but it also helped me learn how to public speaking. I could improve on it because I would go up there, I would give speeches to the people who came, I could tell jokes, and it just helped me kind of become more casual talking in front of people. I haven't done it in a while, so if I'm messing up here, I'm sorry. I also babysat in middle school because I've just always really liked children, and getting to know them is the most fun thing because children say the weirdest things sometimes, and it's really funny. And kind of tying along with that, I would tutor elementary school kids because a lot of kids were like struggling in elementary school, whether because they weren't interested in the class or just because they couldn't grasp the content. So it all started because one of our family friends were like, hey, my kid's kind of struggling in this and we're looking for a tutor. And my mom was like, yeah, my daughter doesn't do anything. So she signed me up. So I got to know the kid really well, and he got very comfortable with me. And that just kind of grew into me helping other kids too. I would definitely recommend it if you like kids and if you like teaching people. Lastly, I got the Writing to Make a World a Better Place Inklings Writing Award because, tying in with my interest in English, I write a lot ever since like elementary school. That year I had written a piece on teen suicide, which I had done a speech on for a project in English. And getting this award kind of made me feel for the first time like my writing's actually affecting people in a good way, and that I'm making a difference with it, and that it's not just a hobby, which, I don't know, it was a really great feeling. So if you are interested in writing, definitely participate in the Inklings Writing Award. I got the Presidential Award for Academic Excellence in 8th grade. That one's kind of straightforward. If you do very well on your state tests, you will be awarded with that. It's not something that you particularly work towards, but you just study and do your best, I guess. I got the Social Studies Student of the Year Award because Social Studies is honestly one of my favorite classes, but not because of the content, because my teachers have been very great for the past 4 years. So I'm always very interested and I participate in the class. And this award just kind of shows that it is worth it to participate, and just not doing anything doesn't really make you cool either. So just participate because it'll help your grade too. I got the Super Warrior of the Month award in 7th and 8th, and that's kind of like a Liberty Middle School version of Student of the Month, and it's kind of really cool too. You get to skip your first period, go to a breakfast, hang out with other people. You get a whole slideshow about you. Very cool. A lot of attention towards you. That is all for my presentation. Should I take questions now, or are we just going to do that during the session later?
We are going to do it later.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Welcome to the panel. Navya Kannan.
Hi guys, I'm Navia Cannon. I currently go to Dublin Sciata High School, but I used to go to Ann Simpson's Davis Middle School. So leadership positions that I had was I was co-captain of Girl Scouts because I had the most experience, and then captain of the FLL team called Bad Ideas. So my accomplishments was that our robotics team was a rookie team and it went to regionals. So this was FLL, which is First Lego League, and it's where you make robots out of Legos. And I started this back in 4th grade and carried it all the way until 6th grade, but then did FTC, which is with actual metal and like you actually, it's not even Legos anymore, for 2 years. So invention convention is basically a convention for inventions. You make your own invention on a problem that you notice to help people. And I won districts and went immediately into state and nationals. Another accomplishment I had was that my dance team won 2nd place for FIA twice. And an Irish Way recipient is like Irish Way is like a acronym for my school. It was integrity, respect, individual responsibility, service, and honesty. Or not honesty, high expectations. And to get a recipient is to like really prove to almost all your teachers that you were all these things. So that was a very memorable moment. The awards that I had was the Inspiration Award for Robotics because one of our projects really stood out for a way to help people. And I got an Excellence Award for Invention Convention twice. I got an Academic Distinction Award, which is where you get the Page, Esquire, and Knight Award, which is basically a 3.5 GPA in all 3 years of your middle school. And then my extracurriculars that I had was that I was part of the student council, and student council is like where you basically help the school. And I feel like this is a really good thing for middle schoolers because you get to know more about how your school funds the money and how you guys can do these things to get money to help your school for like problems you see, like, oh, the bathrooms are not how I like it. We can use money that we can get from doing school stuff and use it for that. And then I did basketball for like many years. Basketball is very fun. I like getting really into the games, and it teaches you a lot of teamwork things and how each player on the court is very important. And then I did robotics, which was FLL and FTC. And Girl Scouts is basically they're kind of like my family. They're all my sisters at this point. You can learn lots of outdoor skills and you do multiple badges with your whole troop. And I did lots of volunteer work with them as well. Like I did Maple Fest helping, and we did caroling at nursing homes. We helped nursing homes. We helped people who were homeless and didn't have any food, etc. I did swimming as well. And then I did cultural dance for many years and it's still going. Dance is like another way that I, detox from stress. It's very nice. And I do orchestra, but I also do lots of other music classes like guitar, ukulele, all sorts of instruments because music is a very big passion that I have. Fiddle fusion is kind of like an advanced orchestra that would be more like fiddle music, and we would perform often. And then multiple tech camps, and I think OSU is what really sparked my interest in the STEM field. And it's there's probably still a lot of science, like any STEM related things you can probably find at OSU. Like they'll host it, and just getting into a lot of tech things because our world is getting more modern each year. So it wouldn't be bad to know about that stuff. I was part of the Dublin Leadership Initiative, which basically was 6th graders and 7th graders who went out of their way to solve one specific problem that we all thought that this area had, and we all learned very good leadership skills from this. I think it was a very successful thing. It was like a new club as well. I got so I did lots of Girl Scout volunteer work, and I still do lots of volunteer work. More about Girl Scout is that we meet twice a month, and it's for around 2 hours, and we often do badge work, and some of the badge work you learn, it's a variety of different things. You learn about STEM, you learn about financial things, you learn about the outdoors. There was even one where it was hosted where you can teach how to babysit. So it's anything that you're really interested in. If you go into Girl Scouts and find a troop that can do these things with you, I think it would be very beneficial. That's all I have. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Navya. Nitin?
Hi everyone, I'm Nitin. I go to Olentangy Orange High School, and I went to Olentangy Orange Middle School. To start off, one of my major accomplishments in middle school was the Vindhya Cultural Association First Place Award. Vindhya Cultural Association is basically a band and karaoke competition. So me and 5 or 6 of my friends outside of school, we participated in that, and it definitely a lot of fun, and it helped me learn some music. Some awards that I got in middle school were the Academic Excellence Award and Student of the Year. I believe that I got Student of the Year because of the little things I did every day. I would always come to class on time, finish homework, and ask questions to the teacher if I had any. Some extracurriculars that I did in middle school were soccer, basketball, and band. So actually, I've been playing soccer since kindergarten. It's I was very small, so I would definitely encourage you guys to start sports early, because playing soccer at such a young age, it actually helped me get into the high school team and maybe even college too in the future. I played basketball in 6th and 7th grade for OIAA, and then I played band 6th and 7th grade. Another extracurricular that I did was Math Counts. It's basically a math competition where different schools come together in the district to compete. I thought this was very beneficial for me because, first of all, it was definitely fun. I got to meet some of my friends and work with them. But I feel like it also helped me with higher level math, and this definitely helped with high school math. And then another extracurricular was robotics. So me and 3 of my friends from school, we got together and formed a group. And robotics is basically split into 3 parts. There's the project, there's the robot game, and then there's core values. So the project part is basically we have to think of a solution that would help the community. And the robot game is where we have to design a robot which would navigate through a series of tasks on the board. And then core values is basically how we act during the competition and how we work well with others. And thank you for listening.
Thank you, Nitin. Welcome to the panel. Rashika?
Hey guys, I'm Rashika Raghavan. I'm a junior at Dublin Toyota High School, and I went to Dublin South Middle School, and I'll start off with leadership positions. So I was a project leader with a First Lego League robotics team, and what I did as a project leader was that every year we had a different theme, and we had to go pick a real life world problem based on that theme and try to find the solution to that. So I helped co-lead that aspect of the team. And I was also a member of that team for 4 years in middle school and elementary school. And right now I'm continuing on to actually mentor a younger team of younger kids. And a couple of my accomplishments. So the robotics team that I was the project leader of, we actually moved on to the World Championship. And I was also the winner of the school and district spelling bee, the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And I moved on to be a finalist with the state spelling bee. And a couple of awards that I got are the Piano Guild and Academic Excellence Awards for all 3 years in middle school. And the way that I got the Piano Guild, it's like a way to become certified to teach piano. And the way that we do that is each student who chooses to do it picks a range of different pieces. They can be from different types of music, jazz, pop, classical, and you'll perform that in front of a panel of a few judges. And along with those pieces, they'll give you one random piece that you need to sight read on your own and play in front of them. And after that, they'll give you a few ratings and certify you with a certificate to teach piano. And a couple of other extracurriculars that I participated in are math counts, girls golf, taekwondo, power of the pen, junior teen institute, choir, and orchestra. And the one that really impacted my middle school career and high school the most was girls golf, because I felt like golf was a really nice way to learn all my teamwork skills and develop them. And it's also a really fun sport. I got to know lots of different schools and different teammates that all have the same passion together for golf. And besides just working with the team and getting to know more people, it's a really fun sport. And it's like a nice, relaxing sport to get rid of stress. And there's also a really small Asian minority in that team. So if you're interested in golf, please consider joining the team. And just one broad piece of advice for any aspiring high school athlete or middle school athlete: if you're interested in joining the team in the off seasons like spring or summer, I'd really try to find the contact info for the coach of the team that you're planning on joining, so that they can hook you up with the team earlier and you can go to some practices, liftings, and get to know the teammates more. And a couple of volunteering activities that I did outside of school were being a camp counselor with Camp Invention, a science summer camp, and volunteering at the Northwest Worthington Library. And I think the most memorable volunteering activity I did from middle school was being a camp counselor at Camp Invention. It's a science summer camp, as I mentioned earlier, for younger kids in 6th grade and elementary school. And the way that I started with this activity is that I applied to become a camp counselor intern, where basically we worked under the supervision of a camp counselor who has been an intern before and had some experience. And then if the director really likes you a lot, they will promote you onto camp counselor next year if you're interested in it. And some of the cool tasks that I got to do as a camp counselor was inspiring the little kids that I worked with and infusing a STEM passion into those kids, the same passion that I have too. And for volunteering at the Northwest Worthington Library, I mainly helped out over the summer signing kids up for the summer reading program. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Shika. Keshav?
Yep, I'm right here. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Keshav Sriram, and I am a sophomore at Olentangy High School. And for middle school, I went to Shanahan Middle School. So before I start, I just want to make a point that the most important thing in middle school was probably my friends. I would say out of everything, my friends were the most important thing in middle school. And I'll explain why. As if you have a good group of friends, then naturally whatever you do with that group of friends will be good. So I know one of the quotes my dad keeps telling me is, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And I got to realize how true that was in middle school, because thankfully I had great friends. So we all did a lot of these things together. So I'll start off with my leadership positions. So in 8th grade, I actually led my math counts team. And math counts, as Nitin explained earlier, is a extracurricular in middle school where a group of people in any grade 6 through 8 get together. And if you really love math, I would suggest this, but we all get together and we compete at the district, regional, state, and even national levels. So I was really fortunate to have a lot of friends on my math counts team, and thankfully they were all very smart as well. So we had a really fun time, and I actually met a lot of the friends I have today in math counts, as you come across people all over Ohio and you make new friends. So accomplishments, in 8th grade, I actually qualified for the state National Geographic Bee. And so the way our school conducted the National Geographic Bee search was they gave a test to every single person in our middle school. And the 20 highest scores in the middle school then competed in a trivia-like, say, competition kind of thing at the end of the school day. And so lucky enough, I was placed in the 20 highest scores. And I ended up actually being the last one remaining in the trivia competition. And so there, after that, I took a test amongst a lot of the other people who had been the last ones left at their middle school, and I had qualified for the state National Geographic Bee. Another accomplishment of mine was our middle school tennis team in 8th grade was, I believe, in the top 5 in Ohio. We were actually undefeated, and I owe a lot of that to my fellow team members. Again, some of my good friends. And that was a really fun time. I actually met a lot of my Dublin friends through there because we had a lot of practice matches with them. And it was always a fun time seeing them play. And for awards wise, again, in math counts, our team placed first in the team qualifier in regionals. And again, I have to thank my team for that because they were extremely smart, and it was a bunch of my friends, and we just had a great time overall. And then another award I got was second place in 8th grade for original oratory. So original oratory is a subcategory in speech and debate. Speech and debate necessarily is a extracurricular in middle school where anyone in grades 6 through 8 can come together and participate in an event that they like. So in 7th grade and 8th grade, I believe I did 2 events. I did original oratory, which is where you come up with your own speech and you deliver it to a panel of judges. And I believe my 8th grade speech was on the effects of technology in the 21st century and the achievements that we have gained from technology. In 7th grade, I focused more on 2v2 debate, and that is where you're given a topic and you prepare pro and con on the topic. And once you walk into a room, you draw out of a hat the words pro or the words con. So once you draw out pro or con, you have, then the other team gets the opposite one, but you then compete against the other team in proving why your point and your side is actually better. So extracurricular wise, in 8th grade, I was a member in the Columbus Symphony Youth Orchestra, and CSYO is actually an audition-based orchestra in all of middle school and all of high school. So anyone in middle school or high school can audition, and so the judges will basically see, or the conductors actually will actually see your level of playing, and from there they will invite you to come for an audition date. And in the audition date, you will play your piece, and you will also play a piece that you have not seen yet, but they will have. So the point of them having that piece there that you don't know yet is for them to judge the ability of how well you can learn something on the spot. So that was a great experience. Actually, I only knew one person when I went to audition for Columbus Symphony Youth Orchestra. And when I came out of it that year, I made friends with almost the entire orchestra, and we had a really great time. And for anyone in middle school who's listening, I would seriously recommend doing this because you get to miss school. That was the highlight right there. And another extracurricular I do outside of middle school, the middle school tennis team, is I play tennis. This is year-round at Racket Club of Columbus, which is located on Bethel Road. And in 7th and 8th grades combined, both of the years, I believe in the summer we had a junior team tennis program. And in 7th and 8th grade, I actually traveled to Indiana to play because we won the regional level and we were competing with all the teams in the Midwest. Unfortunately, we did not make it past regionals, but it was a great time there. And I made a lot of friends in different states. So again, friends. Certification-wise, I am a part of the Vindhya Cultural Youth Committee. And as Nitin explained earlier, Vindhya Cultural Youth Committee basically designs karaoke competitions and band competitions where people in any age, in any category, even adults, can get together and form their own band or perform their karaoke, any singing songs. But there they have judges, and the judges will actually, it's a competition. So judges will rank you based on your competitors. Thank you for your time. That's me.
Okay, that is awesome. Thanks for the insight, Keshav. That is something we missed. Yeah, friends really, really matter a lot, right? Yes, sir. Yes, awesome, awesome. And I would like to take this moment and extend a big thanks to our youth committee chair, Ms. Annalakshmi Devi, and our president, Jagadish and Sandhya, to surround us with this wonderful panel of students. And it's always an inspiration whenever I work with a team of these little kids. We always get the inspiration. And today, what I learned is, how to be humble and down to earth in spite of doing variety of things. Okay. And, and it's totally, truly inspiring to see how you guys enjoy being a leader and how you participated in service activities. And the best part is how, you find happiness in embracing our culture and how, you want to serve our community. And like one student said, how to stay modern, okay? And like Keshav said, how to have good group of friends, that really, really matters a lot, okay? So I'm sure, these kids covered everything. So with that, we are moving to the third section of our event today. So here, we are expecting so questions from all, audience. It can be either to the panelists directly or to me. So we would try our best to answer your questions. Thank you. And our youth committee member, Vishal, is going to present the questions to us.
Sorry to interrupt, Mrs. Devi. Just wanted to let you know, as we told you a few days ago, yes, we are very happy about the Youth Council too. It is a new initiative, and it's a new initiative which we just started, and very happy to say the student panelists today who presented are part of the youth committee, and we have many more students in there. And we wish to accomplish more as an organization with the young energy. And Dhanaseelan Kalimuthu and Annalakshmi Devi are the coordinators of the Youth Council from the Columbus Tamil Sangam Committee. Yeah, thank you. And yes, I'll pass it on to Vishal. Request the parents to post the questions on the chat window if you have any.
Probably Vishal is in mute.
Yeah, I just realized that now. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if any of you guys have any questions, you can put it either in the Zoom chat right here. Of those who are watching the YouTube stream, you can put the questions there. I'll just be saying it out loud for everyone else to know as well. And then whoever's directed to, please put that at the end.
Vishal, can you also show your video?
Oh, yes. Give me 1 second, Uncle.
I think there is a question in the Zoom chat. Can you read that?
All right. There we go. Okay, the first question is from Sai. Where did you sign up to tutor? I believe that was for Sahana to answer.
I didn't tutor with any specific organization or anything. It was mostly just family friends or people I know from school who had younger siblings, and they would just kind of ask me and reach out to me because most of them knew that I was advanced in English, and they'd be like, hey, my kid is struggling, can you help me? I would suggest, I mean, depending on how old you are, or even in a few years, I would suggest reaching out to like places like Math Plus and Kumon and stuff, because they kind of do tutoring, so you can work there. Or just kind of asking around to your family friends if they need any help with anything and if you can offer your services.
All right, thank you. The next question is, how do we register and prepare for the state spelling bee? I think that would be directed towards Keshav, I believe.
I think it's me. I'm sorry
Oh,
about that. Yeah. So for the state spelling bee, at our school, they actually had a school spelling bee that two of our English teachers ran. And I think it's a really nice tip to start preparing from a young age, as I did. Because if you look up Scripps National Spelling Bee, it's a website that they have for it, and they have tons of like good like spelling bee resources and everything for each level. There are spelling bee words for each grade in middle school and elementary school. But most of the time for state spelling bee, it kind of went a little bit further than the resources that they provide on the Scripps National Spelling Bee website. Like they were asking words from different foreign languages. So what I think would be the best way to start preparing for it early is contact your students' English teachers and just focus a lot on what that English teacher gives you as the resources and try to read as much as you can, because that's the place where the spelling bees usually pull their words out of.
Thanks, Prashika. Just to add to that, so it depends on the school. The spelling bee scripts, our spelling bee is offered for students from grade 4 to grade 8. And so sometimes the elementary school may be providing that, and sometimes they may not. And the middle school may be providing that. And so it starts from the classroom spelling bee for each. So every year, academic year, they release a new spelling bee list. So you can Google for 2021, 2020 to 2021 Scripps Harvard spelling bee list. I think there is a list of 450 words. Like the classroom B starts with that. And the classroom winners, so grades 4 and 5, if it is happening in the elementary school, they get to go to the school level. And in the school level, all the classroom B winners will be competing. And from every school, I hope they will be selecting two students, and from each school, and those kids will be, proceeding to the county spelling bee, and where, all the kids from that county will be coming and competing. And from the county, it will be going to the district spelling bee. I don't know about you, Prashika, but like in Georgia, that's how it progresses. From school to county, then to district, and then the district winner. I think two kids, I suppose, they proceed to the state spelling bee. Am I right?
Yes, it moves in the same way for us, except we don't have a county spelling bee. It just moves from school, district, state, and the national.
Wonderful. So the states, there are a lot of resources available out there. And I'm also part of the North-South Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization, which is an Indian American nonprofit organization, where we conduct spelling bee, math bee, and vocabulary bee, like those kind of competitions. Nearly 70 different competitions we conduct, and the winners get to go to the national. And if you look at the, Scripps Harvard spelling bee in the past, 10 years, all our North-South Foundation spelling bee winners are the national winners over there. So, so you can check on northsouth.org. So this is a little Indian nonprofit organization, and they conduct the spelling bee in the local level also. And they will be once you register for the competition, you will be given the list of, followed by that. Thank you.
One request to the panelists and then the participants. Could you turn on your video if you are okay? Just like we want to take a picture, like for the momentum, we all are on the very good session. Please turn on your videos, please. Okay, I'll give a few seconds, everyone to turn on their video.
Looks like there is one more question.
Yeah, we'll go through the, yeah, sure, then, yeah, we'll go through the rest of it. I think few more videos. Okay, it's coming.
Probably they have to go and dress up. Good to see a lot of young kids.
Yes. So let's wait for one more row, like few more people. Four more. Okay, one more. I'm going to take a picture now. All cheese. Thank you. And let's continue that. Vishal, we can read the questions.
All right. All right. Okay. The next question is, what is NewMats and how do you sign up for it? I do not know who that is intended for.
That one's probably for me. There is a website. I believe there might be a link to it through just the Northwestern University website, but I'm also pretty sure that there's a website for NewMats itself. So maybe try typing in newmats.com. I'm sorry I can't give you like a perfect answer. It's been a while, but honestly, if you just Google like NewMats courses, it should show up within like the first few results.
All right. Thank you. Next question is asking, since we are stuck staying at home, what extracurricular activities can we do at home? I think anyone can answer this if you're willing to.
I can try. Most of the organizations that I'm actually volunteering with right now in high school are also accepting middle schoolers during the corona pandemic. And there are tons of different online organizations. Like for me, most of the places where I used to volunteer earlier, especially a lot of the tutoring services, they're right now like offering like online alternatives to that. So I think maybe just look out for the different tutoring services that maybe you went to as a kid and see if they have some online or corona adaptable alternatives and some other volunteer organizations that you've done in the past and see if they maybe have an online option now due to the pandemic.
Yeah, just to add on to what Prashika said, like we do have like a Tamil Thinnai, and we are releasing quarterly magazine, and there are like YouTube channels too. So especially for kids, like small kids, like they can do anything like storytelling or translating any storybooks like you read in English, like we are happy to translate into Tamil and release. So we have been communicating constantly on that one. So you have that option too. By the way,
Yes.
that is my background, like Tamil Thinnai, it's called that.
Thank you, Dana.
Would anyone else like to answer this question?
I'd like to add on. So, honestly, there are so many opportunities to do classes online. Right now, I'm taking a lot of online classes. Honestly, all you have to do is type in the name of the subject you want to do. For example, if you want to learn the violin per se, all you have to do is search violin online classes, and you'll get so many resources and so many options for classes you can take. So, since it's been a few months since the pandemic occurred, so a lot of websites and organizations have adapted to that. So you can often find like online versions of a lot of the classes that you would usually take in person.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, how do you manage time with rigorous course with extracurricular activities? Essentially, how do you manage your time? Anyone can answer this one as well.
Okay, I'll answer this one. Honestly, once you do it for a while, it'll get easier and easier. That's my 100% proven, done it, my opinion. Because when I came into 6th grade, I didn't know anything. really, because elementary school, as a lot of people know, is super simple. All I remember is a lot of multiplication, but it was fun. So in 6th grade, it was really new because I had a lot of different teachers. So that's a good, it's a good spreading out, but they'll start slow. So they'll help you in the school. And honestly, I would just say keeping a log, writing it. If you write it down, it'll make it a lot easier. I know a lot of parents say that. And as a kid, I tend to say, no, Appa, you're wrong. Okay. But it actually really helps. I personally do that. I have a planner where I write everything down for the week, whether it be in school, out of school. Yeah, that's it.
Does anyone else want?
I want to add on to that.
Or Navia, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I really highly recommend to either have a planner or a calendar, and I know that like things like towards 8th grade and high school, things get way more piled up. So I would suggest like at least keeping one thing that you really like to do. That's why if you take a music course during school, I feel like that would really help, because if you really like music, it can be involved in school, or like art classes or something like that. I would say don't forget to put in your interests or things you like to do, because if you do forget that, you're going to start disliking, procrastinating, all those things. So for sure, like write stuff on planners. And there's a lot of digital planners, which I started to do because things are now digital, right? So I was just, for me, it was really easy to have apps or like use Google Calendar for all my courses and to keep track, and also like save time for what I also like, so that I don't start, getting way too stressed and procrastinate.
And I can answer that question a little bit more, like bouncing off of like what everyone else has said. Another way to like stay a little bit more organized and balanced is like pick your courses wisely. Because I was listening to what Devianti was saying about the APs and IBs and honors. You should think about like the workload for each type of class. Like for example, like a class like AP Psychology, it's going to have like a smaller workload than let's say something like AP Chemistry, just based on like how those courses are like naturally in nature. So I would like look up the workloads, how long does it take, and then like manage it wisely. Like for example, you're not going to take like AP Chemistry and AP Physics and AP Biology all in the same year, because that's definitely going to like overwhelm you. So you should probably take into account like many different factors when you're signing up for your schedule. Don't just sign up for every single class that you're interested in like mindlessly. So focus on those other factors too.
All right. Thank you. The next question is, how does one join the Geography Bee? I think this one is Keshav.
So Geography Bee basically is school conducted, because at the national level, they need to distribute it so they get an accurate representation. So what they do is they send it to each school, and then each school has its own way of determining the student that represents it. So each school should have one student that represents the school for the Geographic Bee. I hope that answers it.
All right. The next question just says, can you post here? I do not know what they want to post. Would that person like to clarify, or? All right, we'll get back to that one. The next question is, what is the PSAT and when do you take it? Anyone can.
I can answer that question. So what the PSAT stands for is preliminary SAT, or like a practice SAT, more commonly known. It's an exam that most students take. There is like 3 versions of that exam. There's a PSAT 8/9 that some schools have started taking in 8th grade, and most students take in 9th grade as well. And there's a PSAT 10, which you can choose to take in your sophomore year, and then the official PSAT/NMSQT that students take in their junior year, and all juniors have to go take that PSAT. And the two big reasons why some of these schools are urging these students to take it is the reason why I said NMSQT when I paired it up with PSAT. That stands for National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. And that's a huge scholarship that's like honored a ton. And it really stands out on college applications. And that comes from getting a particular percentile on the PSAT score. And most of those scores are nearby perfect, but the standards for this scholarship change every year. So if you take the PSAT and if obviously you accept for your score to be shared to the people that determine who gets that scholarship, you can get a chance to become a semifinalist or finalist or even win that scholarship. And another good reason to take that exam is it kind of serves like practice for the SAT since they're pretty similar and the only major differences are like the content covered. Like for example, the math section on the PSAT, it focuses a lot more on Algebra 1 and geometry. Well, if you take the SAT, you also focus on Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. So it's like a precursor for the SAT that you'll take later.
All right. The next question is, what is the best year to take the SAT and which month would be the most convenient?
I can answer that one.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So basically, it's never too late to start preparing for the SAT. Like, that's concise and clear. You might think that freshman year, because usually it's like, it's pretty normal for like juniors to take it in their spring semester, but please just at least start preparing a little bit freshman year. And while you're talking about the month, I would say right now, Corona, a lot of schools have canceled their midterms. But usually when there wasn't Corona, in December time, we'd have our midterms. And then around May or like late June, you would have your finals. So usually it's appropriate to take your SAT like maybe around March or like not on the months you have like your finals, your midterms. So just try to take it on a month you don't have your finals.
I completely agree with Swathi. So honestly, if you're in middle school, let me start off by saying everyone has different needs and everyone learns differently. But my advice would be, if you're in middle school, don't stress about it. Some teachers might say like, maybe you should start taking the SAT, but honestly, I would say don't stress about it because middle school is the time to, start doing extracurriculars, joining clubs and all of that. And I'd say the best time, like Swathi said, is freshman year. And I'm a freshman right now. And I'm going to take the SAT this summer. I mean, the upcoming summer. So freshman year would be the best time because the SAT tests you on basic skills that you learn around this time. So while I think it's best to take your first attempt at the SAT during this time because while it'll be still fresh in your brain, like the concepts you learn now, because it's testing like the basic concepts. And colleges, I think, will keep track of how many times you take the SAT, but don't worry about that because I don't think it will matter, but just be aware of that fact. And as for the month that you should take the SAT, I think it would be best to take it around the summer months, in the summer, because obviously when you're in summer, during the summer, you don't have school, so you'll have more time to prepare for the SAT. And also do know that the SAT takes commitment and time to study for it. So that's important to know as well.
And bouncing off of what Durga said, like I would agree that try to take the SAT early on. And some other things that I would like to add on to the SAT is definitely try to get a good score like the first time that you take the SAT. But when it comes to like sharing the SAT scores with the colleges, in the experience that I've had, you actually get to go pick which SAT scores that you want to send to colleges. And you get to like pick like a little bit later on after you take all of your SAT exams. So it doesn't make a huge difference, at least that's what I think, on how many SATs you take, because the colleges won't really know a lot about that. since you get to go pick which exam, which score do you want to go send it off to them. So it's completely your choice.
All right. The next one isn't a question, but it's just Swati said something. It said if you're looking for volunteering opportunities, you can go online to volunteermatch.org. It is a great resource to use. Swati, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Oh yeah, I remember someone was asking about extracurriculars. So also, if you start in middle school, if you start doing some service work, you're definitely going to need service hours in high school in order to graduate. So once you somehow get some experience in middle school, it's pretty good so you know like what type of service you want to do in high school. And due to Corona, not a lot of like volunteering areas are open right now. So volunteermatch.org is a very good resource. You can get your hours online.
All right, thank you. The next question is, are there any good websites to prepare for the PSAT and SAT, or any resources in general?
I can answer that question. So there are tons of practice tests and old tests that College Board has released for the SAT. So that's a really nice way to start, maybe as like a diagnostic test. And after I took the diagnostic test to prepare for the SAT, there were like a couple of other resources that I kind of used as like supplemental ways to study for it. There are tons of SAT classes that are being held like online right now, even like due to Corona. Like for example, there's like tutoring that you can find on many different websites, many different small businesses that are online. I think the Bharatiya Hindu Temple is you guys like regularly attend the temple. They're also holding an SAT class. I'm not sure if you can register right now, but if they're still having registration, they are having online classes, and I've taken that class before and it produced great results. And Khan Academy, it's another huge, great resource because they themselves have diagnostic tests built into them, and they'll cater practice questions like based on what you can improve on, what you're doing well. So it's more of like a personalized studying center in a way. So I'd highly recommend that.
So for PSAT or like SAT resources, definitely Khan Academy, because they're collaborating with the College Board, which is like the thing that gives you the PSAT in 8th grade. So I would really suggest Khan Academy because they already have a course called like SAT or PSAT preparation. And you like take a test so it knows what you struggle with and what you don't. And it'll also give you like updates saying like, hey, you should practice for 10 minutes on this. And it's like really paced at your level, and it's more individualized. So I would suggest that as a resource.
All right, thank you. The next question is, how does converting SAT scores to ACT scores work?
And I can answer that question. So most of the time it happens the other way around because like taking an ACT score and converting it to an SAT score usually gives you a more definite result. But there are tons of converters in there, and but the thing is, the reason why they think that ACT converting to SAT is more accurate than SAT converting to ACT is that when you take an ACT score and you put it into the SAT, as the SAT has a broader score range, it's more likely to give you like one definite score rather than a range of different scores that you can possibly get. But if you're trying to convert the SAT score to the ACT, then at least from all the converters that I've seen, they give you like a range of different scores that you can possibly get on the ACT. So I would highly recommend like both calculators because you can find converters like online, and also some tutors will actually help you convert that based off of data that they've collected. But I would wait until you take your ACT and then convert the ACT score into SAT. That's what my experience looks like, at least.
All right, thank you. The next question is, when is the right time to start preparing for the SAT? How early can you take it? And um, how long the score is valid? Okay, so how long would the score like be valid for you? Anyone can answer this again?
I can answer it if no one else wants to. Does anyone else want to answer it? Okay, then I'll go ahead. So I would say the right time to start preparing for the SAT. Well, like after you take the PSAT, I mean middle school math and middle school English, it is somewhat helpful to understand the foundations of the topics that are going to be taught on the SAT. But if you have like a strong foundation for middle school, like if you're not really struggling with grasping the concepts in middle school, I'd wait until maybe you start like working on what the SAT will mainly be testing, as in like Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, Pre-Calculus, and like high school English. So if you are enrolled in any advanced math classes, that would be nice to just continuously keep preparing everything you've learned so far, just to make sure that you don't like forget it when it comes time to high school. But as I'm like taking practice tests and getting tutors and working on Khan Academy, I would wait at least until like the beginning of high school, like when you're starting to do Algebra 1 or Geometry or Algebra 2. And how early can you attend the SAT? I went in for the SAT as a sophomore, and I mean, they didn't really say anything to me coming in as a sophomore. It's mainly taken by juniors and seniors, at least at the center where I went. But they don't really have like a minimum age to take it. As long as you're in high school, I think. I don't think they'll let you if you're in middle school. But when it gets to high school, I'm sure you can just go ahead and take it if you're a freshman or a sophomore or junior, senior, or whatever grade, as long as you feel comfortable taking it. Because I don't think people are going to stop you from taking it if you're taking it early. And how long the score is valid. There isn't really any standards for how long it's valid or when will it expire, since like if there's not really like a standard to find out if the score is valid or not. Because for most colleges, you'll have all of your scores still available on your dashboard. So you can basically just pick whatever score you want to send. And most of these colleges, they have super scores too. So basically what that means is that like you could take the SAT 2 times. And let's say that the first time reading went really well for you, but math didn't go so well. You can take it a second time and you can focus a little bit more on math. And only some colleges do it again. But what a super score means is that from those two exams, they'll take like your highest English score and then your highest math score. And they'll combine that into the score that they actually evaluate. But there isn't like a validity standard to it.
Thank you very much. So what are the questions we have like till 5:10, and we will read it, and then our panelist and then like the counselor can answer. And I think like due to the time constraint, right, we already like here for a long time. So so the last question would be like from Deepa. That's the last question, so we are going to just answer. So participants, like if you have any questions, like you can like send it to us, and then like we can direct to the counselor and get the answer for you guys. Thank you.
So are we doing any more questions?
Yes. Read the questions like till 5.
so,
yeah, just read the.
Okay. The next question line would have been, what is honors versus AP courses? Which one should we opt? I think that, like, which one should you choose essentially? I think that's what they're asking.
Okay, I'll answer this one. So AP courses are more challenging than honors courses. I know for Dublin it's different, but for Olentangy, honors is at a 4.0 scale and AP is at a 5.0. I think Dublin does honors at a 4.5 and AP at a 5.0. But basically what that means is that the honors classes are harder than regular classes. So they're sometimes weighted more, but then the AP classes are definitely harder, and that's why they're given a 5.0 rating scale. So by taking AP classes, you can actually boost your GPA over 4. So yeah, that's the difference. So AP classes are harder, and honors are easier than AP, but harder than normal classes.
Thank you.
Also, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just to add on, with AP classes, a lot of people tend to take it like just for getting that credit. But because of how hard it is, definitely only take it if it's in a subject that you like and you're interested in. Because if you take an AP class that you have zero interest in whatsoever, you're just gonna end up regretting it.
And bouncing off of what Shahana said too, since most of you guys are middle schoolers, like at least in the Dublin district where I go to, in freshman year they only let you take AP World History. So maybe like take into the visiting that your school has set for each year. So like for like freshman year, if you're like in a Dublin district, maybe consider doing like honors classes to prep you for the AP classes that you'll take later. And only take like the AP classes that you think will like fit your workload, as I mentioned earlier before. Like don't go out there and take like 3 AP science classes, maybe take like one easy AP with like 1 honors. So it's all based on your workload and your schedule and your interests.
All right.
I was just gonna add one thing. So as everyone is explaining like how many APs you can take, for Olentangy, at least in Olentangy High School, I know they don't restrict you as much because you can take a lot of APs freshman year, but they have specific APs for certain years. So like for us, I know we have World History is a mandatory freshman class, and US History is a mandatory sophomore class. So you can take honors, AP, or regular, but it has to be for that year. Just note.
All right. Thank you, Keshav. And then, so it says due to the time constraint, the last, was that the last question, or are we doing one more? I do not know.
So how many questions we have? Like we can read till that Sumitra.
So there's one question. There's 3 more questions, Uncle.
Yeah, let's read those 3 more questions. Yeah.
Last 3. Okay.
Yeah.
In middle school, is it possible to take 2 courses of the same type at once, or same subject?
Yeah, I can answer that question. So it is possible to take 2 courses of the same subject at once. We actually call that doubling up on a subject. But that pair that you said in the question, geometry and algebra 2, that sounds like a good pair since it's not like they're typically like bouncing off each other. They're both different subjects. But when you think about doubling up, like some of the subjects, they kind of like build up on each other. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a good idea.
I'm sorry to like interrupt you really quick, but your audio is kind of like there's like an echo to it. I just wanted to say that. So yeah.
Yeah,
I just sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so as I was talking about, for example, like if you're gonna double up in English, since most of those classes tend to bounce off of each other and you have to have like prior knowledge from the previous class to do it, I would think a lot about like how would those 2 classes feel if you're doing them at the same time? Do they depend on each other, or is it okay to take them both as like co-requisites? So it is possible to double up in a subject, but I would think about which 2 subjects you want to double up.
Thank you. The next question is, someone's asking if they have more questions, how would they contact us after this meeting?
They can.
We will send out an email address, like our CTS email address to the eVite recipients maybe, and then we can gather those questions and send them to our counselor and the student panel later.
Okay. Yes.
I think that is a good question to end. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we done?
No, a couple more questions, right? Are we done? Like all the questions?
I mean, there's only one question left after this. Do you just want to take?
Can I like add something really quick about the honors and AP? It's really short.
One
so
minute. Let's finish the last question, then you can add it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
no,
Okay. Okay. The last question is: do you register? Do you take the PSAT at your school, or is there a way to register online?
If no one else wants to answer, I can try. Okay. So there are ways to take the PSAT in school. Like most of the time for each school, just because they can't host like 12 PSATs in 1 year, they will have one PSAT test day. Now, if you took the PSAT test day and you want to take it again, or for example, that PSAT test day is only for one grade level and you're not in that grade level, then you would have to register from an online site. And as another example where you have to register on an online site is if you're going to take it in the summer or at some point of time when your school is not administering the PSAT. So there's usually one opportunity to take the PSAT in your school, but if your preferred test date is not during that opportunity, you would have to register through the College Board website.
Navya, yeah, now you can add it.
Okay, so with AP and honors classes, yeah, they're harder, but the key thing is that they're more faster paced. So like for math, I'm currently taking honors algebra 2 because math is kind of an easy subject for me, but it's like the same material. It's not really relatively harder. It's just harder because it's more faster paced. So if you are really doing well in one subject and you can understand really fast, this is good for people who understand things pretty quickly. And in a certain subject, I would suggest taking an honors or AP class because it's just more faster paced. So if you think a class in one subject is kind of going slow, definitely AP or honors would work. Yeah, that's all.
Devi Selvakumar, our student panelist, like, do you want to add anything, like any suggestions, or are we good? Devi Selvakumar?
Yes, I think we are good. And if any audience, any parents or students are having any question, like they can send it to my email ID. They can contact you, and you can provide my contact details to them, and they can. I'm willing to answer all these questions.
Thank you, Devi. Thank you, Devi. And Dana, are you are saying something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I'll take this moment to thank Devi Selvakumar for like a wonderful session, like very informative. And I think like as a parent, like, I understood a lot of things. And as well as the student panelists, they are like extremely talented kids, and then they give a lot of, they are ready to share the information, like their time and everything. Thank you once again for the counselor and then students panelists. And I would need to thank Dana and Devi, who is like youth committee coordinators. And for all the communications, I would need to thank Lavanya. She has done a wonderful job as always. Like so, I would take that this moment to thank her as well. And all the participants, thank you very much for your time. And then like the questions, it was like really like it turned out to like very good. I know, like very good session. Students, once again, like you are awesome, and thank you very much. And Sandhya, like so our as usual, like all support from our president Sandhya, and thanks for Sandhya as well.
Thank you, Jagdish. I think we are all good, and we can leave the session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks to Devi.
Thanks, Sita.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thank you.